Sam Houston in deep into the teeth of the transfer portal. How do you feel about these players they've gotten? What do you think about them? Get in, sound off. The Bearkat Bites podcast is live. I am Fobbs. This is Bearkat Bites, part of all of our network and our newsletter. The links are in the description. And if you love Sam Houston football, you like it being covered all year round, well, you've come to the right place. We're talking about that right now. It is January. Happy New Year to you all. Our last broadcast was middle of December. We are back and we're fired up. Sam Houston's got a lot of different players coming in, players moving out. We'll kind of go position by position a little bit. We'll try to connect it all and tell a story. Also, the Sam Houston sweaters, those links are in the description. If you like basketball, go ahead and take a look at those. Go ahead and grab you one. You don't want to miss out. Next Saturday, we are, that concludes the orders for the Sam Houston sweaters. So if you want to go ahead and get one, hop in there. Links are in the description. You can also become a yearly subscriber. If you become a yearly subscriber, you're going to get the Big Sam t-shirt. So we give you lots of fun stuff here around Bearkat Bites. You can always become a subscriber for free and you'll see all the content that we have. But if you want to go and be above and beyond, get some great stuff, you can do that too. So let's go ahead and talk about, excuse me, bear with me. Let's go ahead and talk about the roster's health check. I should say, let's perform a roster health check. Because at this point, we've got a few guys leaving, a few coming in. And here's the thing, so you go on the Bearkat Bites, you'll see the newsletter. It is a roster transfer that it continues to update. We'll do that until about spring ball, I suppose. And then I guess we'll do another one because some guys are going to leave. There's no transfer portal after that anymore, but some guys will leave. We're taking things from March to the Pod. We're taking things from sports, Sam Houston Sports Talk, all these great places, Corey Hogue, Colton Foster, Colin Neal, all these people, Ben, everybody that does a great job with this, okay? Sideline, Sam Houston, everyone. We bring those together. I kind of put together my own. Sometimes, here's a fun fact. When you see the weatherman, they have an option. They can always pull down some map that we see and forecast it out that way. But the best, like the late, great Dr. Neil Frank, if you were here in Houston of a certain age once upon a time, he would always build his. He was the director of the National Hurricane Center. It helped him to understand the material more, understand what he was looking at more. So I put together my own list, but it comes from all these different places. Just like Dr. Neil, his maps came from different sources, right? And shout out to those other sources as well, no animosity or, no BS, no calling your mama fat, none of that, right? So that's there. It'll continue to grow and evolve. Guys are coming in and out of the portal as we speak right now. So keep it there. But what does it mean? What does it mean for this roster? When I first looked at it, I said, okay, who's going to block for these guys? Who's going to block for the quarterback and the running back? Okay. Because right now it's looking like Landon Locke's trending to be the starter. Hunter Watson transferred / graduated. He had the senior day, but I guess that meant he transferred. He transferred. Okay. Hunter Watson's no longer here. Maybe Matoya's no longer here. Some of you DJ Bailey truthers, as of today, you're an injury away from seeing that wish come to fruition. Now, if I was a fan, I would not want to see that. You don't want to see anybody get hurt, of course. But who's going to block for Landon Locke? Who's going to block for Coco Brown? It looks like, it's going to be kind of an all-new kind of look running back room a little bit. They brought in Caden Wingfield from Aledo, Texas. They brought in Demetrius Dowdy from Georgia. These are fun names to look at, but it's going to be Coco Brown's show, right? Right now, he's the most proven. He's the most athletic. He's the guy who's been around the longest, worked the hardest. But who's going to block for these guys? This is a completely new look offensive line. Okay? So it begs the question: who is it going to be? James Dawn gone, Luke Eckert gone, William McCullum graduated. All those guys are gone. Rhett Larson transferred. Colt Dietrich, freaking Colt Dietrich ended up in Washington. Now I was talking to a few observers in and around Sam Houston, and we talked about who do we think is going to could conceivably transfer. None of us said Colt Dietrich. I made a case for Coco Brown. I had heard Dean Ford's name, although the person that said that won't admit it. But it was Colt Dietrich, who's at the University of Washington. He's playing Big Ten football next year. Got a chance to play some big-time football like that. Not that Sam Houston's not big-time football, but he gets to be in one of those, quote, power twos and the ones that control the playoff and all that crap. By the way, I have a great playoff on why a great article in the newsletter. If you go there to the Bearkat Bites, and for only subscribers only, what 3 reasons Sam Houston fans should watch the college football playoff. So if you're interested in that and having a reason, go ahead and think about that. But I'm not sure. This is going to be a completely new look offensive line, guys. Okay. Logan Cahill, who I liked when they signed him last year, one of Phil Longo's early commits, whatever. He could be someone. Kevin Kalanges, Marion Bryan, they got snaps. They're still here. Jeremiah Edmonds coming back. So that's a big plus. You're going to have some experience. So if they can actually block, and maybe if they can pull linemen and, do different things that you see other schools do with their offensive linemen, then those new starting quarterbacks, quarter and running backs have a chance to be pretty good. They have a chance to be pretty good. The quarterback with Locke, that's a lot more what Phil Longo wants to run. It's not going to be this, well, Hunter Watson does this and Phil Longo, they're going to try to make it work. Landon Locke is much more of what Phil Longo wants in a quarterback as far as running his system. So that's a major problem from last year that will not exist, right? That's a major problem that will not exist. The running back room, it's not going to be as deep. Elijah Green's gone, McCaskill's gone, but it's going to still be pretty okay, I think. What do you all think? What do you all think about that? When I look at it, that's what I think. The wide receivers. What do we think about that? What do we think about wide receivers? Now, they brought in Ty Sexton. He's a high school guy out of Katy Jordan. I'm looking at Elijah Kaysen out of Holy Cross, who was very productive there. That's also where Matthew Sluka, who was a kind of a headline in the 2024 season, remember? That's where he came from as well when he went to UNLV before he just left in the middle of the season. Remember that? I'm not sure if Kaysen was there when he was. I'd have to do some more research, but I said it again. Chris Reed cannot be your best receiver here. He's a great target, but he cannot be your best receiver. Ty Sexton's going to get every chance. They've moved Landon Dion, the wide receiver out of Galveston Ball. They've moved him to tight end. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. So that means that Kaysen will get looks. Can Tim Burns Jr. not drop footballs? And same kind of, and can Derek Bledsoe actually consistently get open? I personally don't feel that great about the wide receivers. I don't feel as good as I did compared to last year. I don't feel as good. I don't feel great about the O-line, honestly. I feel better about the quarterback. I feel good about the running back. Shaky about the O-line, and I don't feel too great about the wide receivers right now, right? So, but maybe somebody jumps out and surprises. I don't know. Maybe it comes from the tight ends. Rayfield Lawton transferred, Dylan Burke transferred, Austin Smith out of eligibility. I know that they signed a new tight end. The name escapes me. We're going to have to update our roster here. They were doing that within an hour or so of us preparing to get on air. So it tells you this thing is always molding. It's growing. It's evolving, right? The tight ends, if the passing game is going to have any saving grace, is going to have to come from those fail safes, right? It's going to have to come from the fail safes of the tight end. So we'll see. Get in here and sound off. What do you all think about that when you see that? Then over on defense, lot of names. Some of these guys got to be able to cover somebody, right? Can't get much worse. Sam Houston was dead last, and most pass defense, pretty much all pass defense statistics. I believe it was all. I believe I can say that. One of these guys got to cover, whether it's Justin Cottrell out of Tyler Junior College. Some of you all like Jalen Jones out of Fresno City College. If I was running a sports book, I could probably get some of you guys to put to get some action on who you think is going to get some major playing time out of these new guys. My money would be on, I don't know. Let me go with Jalen Jones out of Fresno City College. Why not? Why not go with him, right? Marcus Broda out of Humboldt High School, right up the road from where we're based out of. Robert McFarland out of Lamar. You still have Braylon Wortham, who redshirted, did not see action. You got Jace Arnold, who saw limited action. So, and Tyler Bailey, who now has a full year playing defense after he made that transition. We talked to him during the Conference USA football kickoff. Some of you all might remember that. But otherwise, the transfers, Cecil Powell gone, CJ Brown out of eligibility, things like that. CJ Brown, and it was talked about, do I not think that CJ Brown's a big loss? He's a loss, but he wasn't really a skill guy. His ability was knocking the crap out of somebody, really hitting them hard, which is good. You need that, okay? Pittsburgh Steelers got decades of legendary stories doing that. But that is something you can find versus finding more of a skill coverage guy, which is what Sam Houston lacked at most of the time during the year. Brock Kuehl, that's his name. Let's see. I'm nervous that we got a few comments here. I'm nervous that we're not seeing enough O-line and QB offers and missing on a lot of tight ends. Well, like I said, the tight ends, guys will get a chance. Some of these guys say they're athletic. They'll get a chance. Brock Kuehl, who is at FAU. That's who it is. Yeah, Brock Kuehl's the transfer out of the new tight end transfer. Looks a little doughy. Looking at him, looks a little doughy, but maybe they can get him in the weight room this year, this offseason. I don't know. But yeah, tight ends withstanding. Yeah, that's why I said I'm shaky about the O-line. Not enough O-line offers. So you're going to be going in with this O-line that wasn't great already last year, that couldn't push the starters who weren't all that great. Apparently, Washington said Colt Dietrich was pretty good. So I think it was the highest rated tackle or in Conference USA, something like that. It was crazy. So yeah, you need another QB. Yeah, they need another QB or two. Right now, they've only got 2 on the roster. I don't know who that other quarterback is. I don't know. I'm not too sure. What you're hoping is Landon Locke really has a good showing, and other quarterbacks are like, wow, we need to go learn under Phil Longo. We can transfer to a great school, not a great school, but a different, higher paying school as well. So maybe they think that. But as far as the defense, what do you think about this defense? Somebody's got to be able to cover. One of these guys, Dax Horney, Lyric Smith, Jalen Stanford, Joe Swin, who had okay moments and here and there a season ago. Are you okay giving him more playing time? I don't know. Defensively, the spot I feel best about are the linebackers. Even after Jameer Diaz said, hey, them 4 games I played, that's enough to get me to a higher paying school. Jameer Diaz said, it's time to flip that. But I like the linebackers because they've got Dean Ford, who was really played very well as a freshman. Tokyo Gordon is there as well. They brought in Stacey Bay, who's a power 4 guy out of Arizona, and Ryan Mallory, who I saw at Randall High School in person. I thought he was pretty good. So, excuse me. I think this is probably their most talented position. They're pretty deep there at linebacker. I wonder how much coverage they can do. I wonder how malleable and athletic some of them are. So we'll see about that. Over on with the defensive line, you got another Arizona transfer and a Houston transfer as well. Zion Taylor, Jarrett Anderson, who is from Arizona. Taylor is from Houston. Dylan Frazier's still there. Brody Henderson has a year of experience under his belt after playing a lot as a freshman. Now, he didn't have quite the positive impact that Dean Ford did his freshman year at linebacker, but there's still some people there. Stephon Boyd is around. This it can maybe be something. It can maybe be something. So I would go linebacker, then defensive line. But I said, well, no, I said the opposite last year. So who really knows? Who really knows, right? Kicker, they're probably gonna I would venture to say that they're gonna give that role to Tate Ryan, the kicker they got in 2025 class out of the Woodlands. So that's kind of how it's going. What do you all think? What do you all think? Overall, this equals about a 4, maybe 5 win team. But as some of you all said, and I talked with the great Chris Yandick, you can go on my Twitter page and see that sit down I did with him, our weekly segment of college football. It's Conference USA. Every team is up and down. Sam Houston, that could be enough to get them to a bowl. Right now, I don't see it. I don't know. We felt that way at this time last year, and it barely resulted in 2 wins. 2 really fun wins, but 2 wins nonetheless. So we'll see. But anyway, you all, it is time for the college football playoff. I'm going to go watch that. If you want to go and see why you should be watching the college football playoff as a Sam Houston observer, go ahead and check out that. The links are in the description to the newsletter. Go ahead and be a paid subscriber. Support the work we do here. Share the work we do here. Let somebody know. We'll see you all next time. All college football is good college football. Hopefully tonight it will be. We'll see. Should be. It will be. It's college football.